to understand bifascicular block, you have to go to the normal cardiac axis. You should know the normal cardiac axis. So you can see in this ECG that when lead 1 is positive, lead 1 is positive, lead 2 is positive, then we can understand that this is a normal cardiac axis. Now look at this ECG. If you see that lead 1 is not positive, the QRS is not upright, QRS is going down, or you can say RF is more towards the downward side than the upside. So lead 1 is negative. So lead 1 is negative. This is the blue shadow. Lead 1 is negative. And if lead 1 is negative, then we'll look for AVF. Okay, when lead 1 is negative, we'll look for AVF. So AVF is positive here. AVF is positive. So AVF is positive. Okay, so when lead 1 is negative, AVF is positive, then if we mix these two circles, so this part will be superimposed, and so the vector is in this direction. That is called right axis deviation. So what are the common causes of right axis deviation? So we'll stick to this. Number one is this left posterior fascicular block. This is one of the common cause of right axis deviation when the left posterior fascicular is blocked. Now in this ECG, you can see lead 1 is positive. Lead 1 is positive, but lead 2 is negative. So QRS is not upright, it's going down. So if you mix this, so lead 1 is positive, lead 2 is negative. So if you mix these two circles, the vector will be in this direction. So that is left axis deviation. So in this ECG, lead 1 is positive, upright QRS. Lead 2 is negative, downward QRS. So that's why this is a left axis deviation. So common causes of left axis deviation, you can understand, it is left anterior fascicular block. So to understand the bifascicular block, we have to also understand the normal cardiac conduction system. So the node, SA node, it generates the impulse, comes to the AV node, then through the bundle of His, and then it divides into two branches. This is the right bundle branch, this is the right bundle branch, and this is the left bundle branch, which is again divided into two branches. This is left posterior fascicle and left anterior fascicle. So when we know that when the left anterior fascicle is blocked, that is left axis deviation. And when left posterior fascicle is blocked, this is right axis deviation. Okay. So we'll remember for that now, till now, we'll only remember that when left anterior fascicle is blocked, this is left axis deviation. So let's block this. So let's block this, see what happens if we block the right bundle branch. So if we block the right bundle branch, then the whole of the cardiac impulse will go towards left ventricle. Means right ventricle is not getting the impulse. So it means there will be left ventricle will be excited. First left ventricle will contract because all of the impulse is going towards the left ventricle. So once all of this impulses are going towards the left ventricle, when left ventricle start contracting, then all of these impulses together, because right bundle is blocked, then it will go towards right side. So together the impulses travel towards right side. And if you remember that which ECG lead is on the right side of the heart, only one lead, that is V1, which is somewhere here on the right side of the chest. So this vector is going towards the positive electrode. It is going towards the electrode. So it will, in the ECG, in the lead V1, will get a positive wave. Okay, because the V1 is placed right here and the vector is in this direction. So if you see, it's giving a positive QRS, which is not so common in V1. So V1 should not look at this ECG. Almost all the QRS complex in V1 to V6, they are upright. Normally in any ECG, V1 is negative. So as you move from V1 to V6, it will become negative to positive. So here, you see the V1 is negative and gradually the R is trying to become tall. R is trying to become taller, and it is now getting taller, more tall, and here is the V6. So normally in V1 to V6, as you travel, the lead starts from negative QRS to positive QRS. But here in this ECG, you see the V1 is positive QRS, which make you diagnose that this is a right bundle branch block. Okay, so this is a right bundle branch block. Now you can see the computer has already said bifascicular block. Why? Because there are another things. If you look at the lead 1 here, look, lead 1 is positive and lead 2 is negative. So if lead 1 is positive, Lead 2 is negative. This is left axis deviation. And we know the cause of left axis deviation is left anterior fascicular block. So here in this ECG, right bundle branch is blocked because it's showing upright V1, and left anterior fascicle is also blocked because it's showing left axis deviation. That's why we term it as a bifascicular block. And in this ECG, you see upright V1 wave. So it's, if we have to diagnose it very quickly, look, this is upright. So right bundle branch block. Then coming to and fire to the this side, find the cardiac axis. Lead 1 is positive, lead 1 is positive, lead 1 is positive, and lead 2 is negative. So if lead 1 is positive, lead 2 is negative, that is left axis deviation. So left causes of left axis deviation, one of them is left anterior fascicular block. So left anterior fascicle is blocked here. Okay, and right bundle branch is blocked here. So this is a diagnosis for bifascicular block. So in this way, you can diagnose a bifascicular block in a ECG in just less than a minute. Thank you.